You know, I was talking to my neighbor, Margaret, the other day. She's 72, full of life, still gardening, traveling, and even taking dance classes. And I thought to myself, what's her secret? Because let's be honest, some folks seem to age like fine wine, while others, well, let's just say they don't feel as vibrant as they'd like. So, what's the difference? Is it just good genes? Luck? Or is there something more to it? Turns out, science has a lot to say about this. Researchers have studied people who live long, healthy lives, well into their 90s and even past 100, and they've found that it's not just about luck. There are real, practical habits that can add years to your life and, more importantly, life to your years. And the best part? There are things you can start doing today. No magic pills, no extreme diets, just simple, science-backed choices. So if you've ever thought, I wish I had more energy, or I want to stay independent and strong for as long as possible, this video is for you. We're going to break down 5 powerful habits that can help you feel younger, healthier, and more vibrant, no matter what age you are right now. And we're starting with the first 2, because these alone can make a huge difference. Habit number 1. Move naturally every single day. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Exercise? Really? That's the big secret? But here's the thing, it's not about running marathons or lifting heavy weights. In fact, some of the healthiest seniors in the world never set foot in a gym. Instead, they move naturally throughout the day. Take the people in Okinawa, Japan, one of the world's blue zones, where folks live the longest. They don't do intense workouts, but they're constantly active, gardening, walking, doing Tai Chi, even just getting up and down from the floor, which, by the way, is amazing for mobility as we age. The key is low intensity, consistent movement. So, what can you do? Start small. Take a 10-minute walk after breakfast. Do some gentle stretching while watching TV. Stand up every 30 minutes if you've been sitting. Even household chores count. The goal isn't to exhaust yourself, it's to keep your body in motion, because research shows that sitting too much is one of the biggest risks for aging faster. And here's a bonus. Moving regularly doesn't just help your body, it sharpens your mind too. Studies show that daily movement improves memory, reduces stress, and even lowers the risk of dementia. So, if you want to stay sharp and strong, this is where you start. Habit number 2, eat like you're in the Mediterranean, without moving there. Okay, let's talk about food, because what you eat might be the single biggest factor in how long and how well you live. And no, I'm not going to tell you to give up everything you love. Instead, let's borrow a page from the Mediterranean diet, the eating style that's been proven, again and again, to add years to people's lives. Now, this isn't about strict rules. It's about simple shifts. More vegetables, especially leafy greens. Healthy fats like olive oil and nuts. Fish a couple of times a week. Whole grains instead of processed bread. And yes, even a little red wine if you enjoy it, because happiness counts too. But here's the real secret. It's not just about adding good foods, it's about crowding out the bad ones. For example, instead of saying, I can't have sugar, try adding a handful of berries to your breakfast. Over time, you'll crave the junk less because your body starts to prefer the foods that truly nourish it. And if you're thinking, but I've eaten this way for years, can I really change now? Absolutely. Research shows that even small improvements in diet after 60 can dramatically lower the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even some cancers. It's never too late to start. Now, these first 2 habits, moving naturally, and eating the Mediterranean way are already game changers. But we've got 3 more to go, and the next one is all about something we often overlook as we age. It's not about food or exercise, but it's just as important for adding years to your life. So let's keep going, because the best is yet to come. You know, when we left off, we talked about 2 powerful habits, moving naturally and eating the Mediterranean way, that can truly transform how you feel every single day. But here's something fascinating I've noticed. The healthiest, happiest seniors don't just focus on their bodies. They understand that living longer isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. And that brings us to our next game-changing habit. Habit number 3. Protect your sleep like it's gold, because it is. Raise your hand if you've ever said, "I'll sleep when I'm dead." Well, here's the truth. If you don't sleep well now, that day might come a lot sooner than you'd like. Now, I'm not trying to scare you, but sleep is one of the most overlooked secrets to longevity. And here's why. When you're over 60, your body repairs itself during deep sleep. Your heart gets stronger, your brain clears out toxins, even your immune system recharges. But here's the problem. As we age, sleep can get harder. Maybe you wake up at 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep. Or you feel like you're just not a good sleeper anymore. Well, I've got good news, you can fix this. And no, it's not about sleeping pills. It's about simple, natural adjustments. First, let's talk about light. Your brain needs darkness to produce melatonin, the sleep hormone. But if you're scrolling on your phone or watching TV right before bed, you're tricking your brain into thinking it's daytime. Try this instead. Dim the lights an hour before bed. If you read, use a warm, soft light, not a bright screen. Second, keep a consistent schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same time, even on weekends, trains your body to sleep better. And here's a little trick. If you wake up in the middle of the night, don't just lie there stressing. Get up, go to another room, and do something quiet, like reading a real book, until you feel sleepy again. It works wonders. And finally, this one's important. Watch your caffeine and alcohol. That afternoon coffee? It can stay in your system for 8 hours. And while a nightcap might make you drowsy, it actually ruins your deep sleep. Try cutting off caffeine by noon and limiting alcohol before bed. Within a week, you'll notice the difference. Habit number 4, stay connected, but on your terms. Now, this next habit might surprise you, because it's not about food, exercise, or sleep. It's about people. And here's why it matters. Researchers studied centenarians, people who lived to 100 plus, and found one thing they all had in common: strong social connections. Not hundreds of friends, but meaningful relationships. But here's the catch. As we get older, it's easy to let those connections fade. Kids move away, friends pass on, and suddenly, you might feel lonelier than you expected. And loneliness isn't just sad, it's dangerous. Studies show it can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day when it comes to your health. So, what's the solution? First, focus on quality, not quantity. You don't need a packed social calendar, just a few people who truly get you. Maybe it's a weekly phone call with an old friend, joining a book club, or even volunteering. The key is to have something that gets you out of the house, or at least talking to others, regularly. And here's something powerful. If your family doesn't visit as much as you'd like, don't wait for them. Create a reason for them to come. Start a simple tradition, like Sunday dinners or a monthly game night. People show up when there's something to look forward to. But also, and this is important, It's okay to enjoy your own company. Some of the happiest seniors I know love their solitude too. The key is balance. You don't have to be the life of the party, but you also don't have to disappear. A little connection goes a long way. Now, we've covered 4 incredible habits so far: moving naturally, eating well, prioritizing sleep, and staying connected. But there's one more that ties them all together, and honestly, it might be the most important of all. It's not a pill, a diet, or even an exercise, but it's something you can start today, and it changes everything. Let's finish strong. We've come such a long way together in this conversation. 4 powerful habits that can truly reshape how you experience life after 60. But I've saved the most important one for last. Because here's what I've noticed about people who age vibrantly. They all share one special quality. It's not about their genes or their bank account. It's something much simpler and much more powerful. Habit number 5: cultivate a why that gets you out of bed. Let me tell you about my friend Sam. At 82 years young, he wakes up every morning excited to tend to his community garden. Rain or shine, he's out there by 7 a.m. When I asked him his secret, he said something I'll never forget: you don't stop gardening because you get old. You get old because you stop gardening. That right there is the magic of having a why. Research from the Rush Alzheimer's Disease Center found that seniors with a strong sense of purpose had a 2.4 times lower risk of Alzheimer's. Let that sink in. Just having a reason to wake up in the morning can protect your brain better than any supplement. Now, your why doesn't have to be grand. Maybe it's teaching your grandkids how to bake your famous apple pie, writing letters to old friends, learning something new at your local senior center, even just making sure the birds in your backyard are fed every morning. The key is that it matters to you. When my Aunt Clara turned 75, she started a birthday card ministry. She handwrites cards for every resident in her retirement home on their birthdays. Last month, she sent out 28 cards. That little ritual gives her days structure and meaning. Here's your challenge this week. Think of one small thing you can commit to that makes you feel needed. It could be as simple as walking your neighbor's dog twice a week or organizing family photos. When you have something that depends on you showing up, suddenly every day becomes worth living fully. Let's take a quick walk down memory lane, because these 5 habits work best when they work together. You move your body naturally every day. You nourish yourself with Mediterranean-style meals. You protect your precious sleep. You stay meaningfully connected. And most importantly, you cultivate a reason to jump out of bed each morning. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. That's too many changes at once. And you're absolutely right. Here's my golden rule. Start with the one that speaks to you most. Maybe it's adding a 10-minute walk after breakfast. Maybe it's calling an old friend this afternoon. Small steps create big changes over time. Remember Margaret from the beginning of our talk? Her secret wasn't some exotic superfood or expensive treatment. It was this exact combination: staying active, eating real food, sleeping well, loving her people, and having her beloved rose garden to tend. Simple, sustainable habits that added up to an extraordinary life. Before we say goodbye, I want you to do something important. Pause this video right now and say out loud one habit you'll start this week. Say it like you mean it. Because here's the beautiful truth: your best years aren't behind you. They're waiting to be lived, one intentional choice at a time. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 habits resonates most? Or maybe you've already discovered your own longevity secret? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else on their journey. If this video brought you value, do me a favor. Hit that like button, share it with a friend who could use the encouragement, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're building a wonderful community here of people proving every day that life after 60 can be vibrant, joyful, and full of possibility. Until next time, remember this: you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. And that, my friends, is what truly matters. Now go out there and live it.